Have you ever had someone get closer and closer to you, only to disappear the moment things became real? One day they're texting constantly. The next they're distant, cold, hard to reach. And the strange part? This usually happens right after a moment of genuine connection. Psychology says they may not be running from you. They may be running from what they feel, and once you understand why, you'll stop blaming yourself for someone else's distance. Here's something nobody tells you. When someone pulls away, most people immediately assume they did something wrong. Maybe they said too much. Maybe they weren't attractive enough. Maybe they came across as needy. So they replay every conversation searching for a mistake. But psychologists who study relationships say the opposite is often true. The distance usually isn't about something you did. It's about what closeness does to the other person's nervous system. Maybe you've seen it yourself. Everything feels perfect. The conversations get deeper. The connection feels stronger. You start feeling safe. Then suddenly, they become distant. This often comes down to something called attachment style. The way we experience connection early in life creates a blueprint for how we respond to connection later. Some people grow up feeling emotionally safe and secure. Others grow up where love is inconsistent, where affection comes with conditions, or where getting attached eventually leads to pain. Those experiences don't simply disappear. They become part of the nervous system and quietly influence future relationships. For some people, genuine closeness doesn't feel comforting. It feels dangerous. The moment a relationship starts to matter, an alarm goes off beneath the surface. And here's the paradox. The more they care, the more afraid they may become. Psychologists often call this a deactivating strategy. The mind unconsciously thinks, this connection matters now, which means it has the power to hurt me. And before things go any deeper, it creates distance. From the outside, it looks like indifference, but on the inside, it's often fear wearing a mask. But here's the part most people never realize. The people who pull away aren't always the people who care the least. Sometimes they're the ones who care the most, and that's exactly what scares them. This also explains why some relationships fall into a confusing push and pull cycle. One person moves closer, the other steps back. Then, as soon as the distant person senses that connection slipping away, they suddenly become warmer again. In many cases, this isn't manipulation. It's two nervous systems responding to closeness in completely different ways. Neither person is broken. They're simply following emotional patterns they learned long ago. Now, here's why this hurts so much. When someone pulls away after a moment of closeness, your brain often interprets it as rejection. And rejection activates many of the same brain regions associated with physical pain. That's why it feels like a punch to the stomach. That's why you replay moments over and over in your head. That's why moving on can feel so difficult. Your reaction isn't weakness, it's human. But here's the realization that changes everything. The moment you stop asking, what's wrong with me, is the moment you start seeing what's really happening. The goal isn't to convince someone to stop fearing closeness. The goal is to build relationships with people who gradually learn that closeness with you is safe. At the end of the day, people don't pull away because connection isn't valuable. They pull away because somewhere in their past, connection became tangled up with fear. And sometimes the people who pull away aren't running from you. They're running from feelings they never learned how to handle. So the next time someone pulls away after things start getting real, don't immediately ask, what's wrong with me? Ask a different question. What fear might they be running from? Because sometimes people aren't running from you. They're running from feelings they never learned how to handle. And understanding that may be the first step toward finally letting go of blame that was never yours to carry. If you enjoy psychology and human behavior, subscribe for more videos every week.